I'm Dave Mars with Conservation Tips. Just about the time we can stop thinking about heating our homes, it's time to start cooling our homes. So in today's episode of Tips, we're going to look at your air conditioning system, how we can make it run more efficiently so it won't cost you a lot of money. Now, if your home or apartment is equipped with a central air conditioner, it basically has two parts. We've got the outside condensing unit, and inside we have a coil inside the furnace. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. To make this work the most efficiently, though, is you want to first, if you haven't covered this during the wintertime to get the leaves out, check inside there and make sure there's not a lot of debris. It'll block the airflow. We want to have maximum airflow around this unit so it works the most efficiently. Now, regrettably, bushes like to hide the air conditioner. You may not like the looks of it, but we got to get these cut away so we can get some airflow in there. The maximum airflow will help cool this area the quickest and lower your bill. So, regrettably, going to have to do a little trimming. Now, once we've cleared the debris and the shrubbery from around the unit, we want to inspect the fins, because this is where the heat dispensation occurs, and we make sure they're nice and straight so we get maximum airflow. You can take a regular knife from the kitchen like this and straighten them out, or they actually have tools called fin combs that'll do that. But check that out so we got, again, maximum airflow. This little spot down here, though, might suggest that we've got some local critters that are using this as a potty, and their fluids can be very acidic and actually can eat these fins up. I've seen some where whole sides have been obliterated by that. So if you have that problem in your home, you might want to go ahead and put a fence around this to keep them a little further away. Now, what happens with these condensing units is we're going to condense some refrigerant. It's going to get it super cold. We're going to pump that into the house, and that's how you get cooling inside the house. Well, it's delivered by these two pipes here. And one will be hot to the touch and one will be cold to the touch. We want to make sure that the insulation is in good shape on these units. This has been kind of replaced, and you can see it's torn here and torn up here. That needs to be replaced, and you get that from the hardware store. The other thing that occurs here is that if you have some vibrations right here with the interior pipes, this is a spot where some holes or leaks might occur. So you'll know that when you turn the air conditioner on. If it doesn't provide you cooling, perhaps you might suspect that there's a leak in the system. This is a good spot to look, and of course there's other places to look out here. Now let's go inside and see where these pipes go and what the coil is going to do for you. And you can see where the pipes come in from the outside. They end up coming down here into what's called the A coil. It's called an A coil because a lot of them are shaped like an A, and there's a coil of copper pipe through there through which the cold refrigerant courses. When the thermostat upstairs says, hey, we need some cooling up here, it tells the fan to come on, tells the outside compressor to come on. All of a sudden, cold refrigerant's pouring into here. We're running that hot, warm air from inside over our cold coil, and it lowers its temperature, and that's how you get air conditioning delivered to your home. But there's something you want to watch out for in this particular half of it here. One, you can see this insulation right here. This is what the insulation should look like outside, nice, spongy, and effective. We want to make sure that we're not blowing a lot of air just out away from the furnace, from the A coil, because that's going to be cooling the furnace area and not your home. So you can use this foil tape is really handy, or some silicone adhesive. Just get the fan running and go around and feel where the air is coming in. And if you have an older furnace, you want to go ahead and check your fan out there and make sure that it doesn't have a whole lot of dust on the fins and stuff, because it'll go slower and then raise your cost. Also, we want to make sure that we have a clean filter in there. At the end of winter, it's a really good time to check the filter because it's probably been running for a while. Let's see what this one looks like here. Yeah, not too awfully bad. A lot of filters are good like this. This is kind of an algae type filter, so if your household's got some allergies, you're probably going to use a filter like this. Just make sure you change it regularly so it can block airflow. If you can get away with not using a filter like this, algae type filter, and you put in a more porous one, you'll get more delivery of cold air because you won't be blocking it as much with the filter. And then, of course, make sure your filter is covered with some of that foil tape, or else you'll just be pulling the air from the basement here. Now, the other thing that occurs as we're pulling this warm, moist air from inside is that it's going to be condensation coming down. It collects in a pan at the bottom here, and this drain pipe here will take it down to your floor drain. Well, if you ever notice that this drain is overflowing, so to speak, and water's running down underneath the furnace, you got to get to it and get this cleaned out. We don't want any water in the furnace. You can create rust and other problems that'll plague you later. So make sure that we've got the drain nice and clear. Now, if you want to check this out, and this is what professionals will do to see if you're getting the full BTUs delivered from your system, you want to put in a probe thermometer right here, or up here if you want, and you want to get 55 degrees coming off the top of that coil. That's the maximum operating efficiency of this unit. If you're not getting that, 55 or 70, obviously you're going to have to run longer, to get your house cooled. And it may mean that you're low on Freon or something like that. Also, if you're low on Freon, a lot of times what can occur is that you can actually create a block of ice in here because we don't have we've got to have a fan flow, so if the airflow is low and a refrigerant level is low, then these things don't get quite the right temperature and actually can ice up with the humidity in the house. If that occurs, you're not going to get any air out of your supply vents upstairs, and when you turn that air conditioner off and come back downstairs about an hour later, you're going to see pools of water underneath there because this thing will have to thaw out to get your airflow back. So that's basically it, how you get this to work more efficiently. Now, I'm going to take you up and show you the boss of the system. Now, the command center I was referring to, of course, was a thermostat. And the ideal situation is when I set the thermostat around 78 to 80 degrees. Maybe a little warm for you if you have a little bit cooler, but let me tell you this, it's going to cost you 5% per degree that you lower it. Or you're going to save 5% per degree that you can raise your thermostat in the summertime. It takes your air conditioner half the energy just to dehumidify the air before it can deliver cooling. So you keep it at one temperature and have it get cooled. And the idea also is kind of keep the doors and windows from opening a whole lot so we keep the humidity outside. Now, if you have a really cool area downstairs, you may find that it's a little bit moist and damp down there. You can't run the air conditioner a lot. You get down to 30 degrees down there, perhaps, so you may need to get a dehumidifier that would help dehumidify that area down there. Or, most thermostats have a fan setting that says fan on, and you can just turn the fan on. And if you have some returns downstairs, you can pull that air, move through the rest of the house, and save yourself some money that way, too. And these are some of the basic tips that we covered in terms of how you can make your air conditioner run more effectively. Stuff you can do on your own. If you're a little, sure about what you're doing, you might want to go ahead and call a heating and cooling company and have them do it for you. The idea is to lower your bills, be more efficient, and not waste energy. So, this is Dave Mars of Conservation Tips, and I'll see you next time.